Show me something.
Hello and welcome back to the Show Me Something podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Will.
And I'm Trevor.
And today I showed the boys Martin Scorsese's 1990 gangster classic, GoodFellas. A movie I was surprised the boys hadn't seen, similar to like Scarface. But I'm glad to finally bring it. I had been mentioning it for a while. It had been on my list to bring. But it is a longer movie, so it's a commitment.
This is one of the early ones that had been on the list before we even talked about Will being on the podcast, when it was just me and you spitballing ideas for this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, this movie is definitely one of my favorite. It's definitely one of my favorite gangster movies, and it's up there for my favorite movies. It's one of the early ones that I watched when we in high school were like going through and watching like classic movies and stuff, especially because we loved gangster movies back then even more than I do now. But yeah, so you guys want to do some housekeeping? You guys got anything going on?
Trev, go ahead. Anything?
I apologize if I am low energy during this podcast. I am somewhat recovering from a very fun bachelor party last night. So that. Other than that, I'm pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
You seem all right. You know.
Red Dead is progressing well still. That's other than that, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. The only difference is the hat for you. You seem
the hat.
Otherwise.
My hair.
That's your hangover hat.
My hair is wild right now. Like, that's the thing. I don't need the hangover glasses because I'm fine. Just
well, it's
hair.
because you took a shower and then fell asleep, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah,
took a shower. Didn't even like.
Classic.
If I do that when I come home from work, I'll like maybe sit up for a minute and still kind of like try and do my hair somewhat. I towel dried it and laid down and passed out.
Are you guys shower before bed or shower when you wake up, people?
I used to be shower when I wake up. When I was going to school and stuff, because I wanted to look good for the day. Now that my days don't usually start for a while, after I wake up, I would rather be clean going into bed, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm a morning shower guy, but for a while I was doing 2 showers a day, so I was doing one after work as well, which I like. But now that I'm on the late schedule, I don't really want to take a shower at like 3 a.m. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm also a morning shower person. I feel like my day isn't started until I take a shower.
I agree.
But I am also a frequent 2-shower person just because I'm heavier set and I tend to sweat and it's Florida, so
hell yeah.
You know, gotta be fresh.
You gotta be fresh.
I do feel like I'll pick back up. Oh, sorry. I feel like I'll pick back up on the morning showers when I have like a real stable work schedule that's not
does feel super
overnights and stuff.
Yeah, I think work schedule definitely plays a big part. Housekeeping for me is honestly just a little bit of self-promotion. My music can now be found on all streaming services. So that's pretty dope. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple Music. I'm on Tidal.
Oh, shit.
You can buy an album from me on iTunes or Amazon. So it's not all of my stuff. It's just my newest release. All the older stuff is sample locked, essentially. I'll get sued if I put it up. But
don't want that.
Don't. As much as I want that stuff to be, easily available to you.
Yeah.
I got linked up with some distribution company and there's some stuff out there, so that's pretty exciting. So
that's awesome.
Craft Beats on your preferred streaming platform. Let me know if you like it. That's been a big moment for me. So I think I've wanted it for a long time, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's
awesome.
So exciting, dude. Awesome. Man. Congrats. I hadn't heard about this. This is my first hearing. Yeah.
Trevor doesn't go on social media.
Or
I don't.
Text. I didn't text all about it. Yeah. No. So that's pretty much all I've got going on. Otherwise, I've fallen quite hard back into Rainbow Six Siege after being pretty confident that I was over it. Didn't happen. So the new season came out and I've been grinding that. We've been playing some consistently low silver ranks because we're kind of rusty. But besides that, just chilling, watching GoodFellas, relaxing.
Nice. Similarly to your jump back into Siege, I started playing Hearthstone again.
Oh no!
I
did see that.
I saw it. We got a preview on the Snapchat this morning.
Yeah, well, that's just because I don't have like another game that I really want to play right now, so it's just like in between, just like play a little bit of Hearthstone. Plus, they just had a bunch of new stuff come out. So,
have you? This is kind of a side note, but have either of you or both of you played Disco Elysium?
no.
I started it a while ago, and it's so good. It's fantastic. And then I heard that they were doing the re-release or the remaster with like the full voice acting as well as like a whole bunch of new content and shit. So I was like, I'm not going to bother going back to it until that's out. And that comes out
next week.
2 days? Yeah, 2 days from now.
Yeah, it's
so
coming on
I'm
console
hyped.
too, so I'm finally going to play it. I've heard nothing but good things. So
I think
exciting.
I told Jacob about it at one point. Didn't I tell you about it?
Yeah, it seems like a
Maybe.
U2 kind of game. That's why I asked.
It's a big story game, Jacob. You play a cop in like a weird.
I don't recall that.
Yeah,
But it's definitely possible.
It's very big story-based RPG with a lot of stats that infect your stuff in crazy ways, which is really cool.
Your stats are like your emotions, right? Like your core categories are like your emotions, which I think is pretty dope.
All of your emotions have like separate voices that like actually talk to you. And they're all going to be voice acted. They're all going to be voice acted by different people too.
Damn.
So,
yeah,
like,
I'm excited about that. I'll definitely dive into that. I need a little something to pull me away from Siege or pull me a little bit out of Siege for sure. So
yeah, like this is an early thing. Just as an example, there's one of your emotions, like first couple minutes, is something to do with alcoholism. I don't remember, and it whispers in the back of your brain. When you're at like the bar downstairs, you see a whiskey spilled over on the counter, and it says, "Slurp up the whiskey off the counter." It's like,
oh fuck yeah, I'm super into that.
You could choose to not listen to it, but it's there.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, cool. Cobb, any housekeeping besides Hearthstone?
No, not really. Just been chilling. Played a little bit of PUBG and the new Fall Guys season last night.
Word.
Yeah, they're on season fucking 4.
So hard to believe. I remember like when it came out, y'all were here at my apartment. Like,
we were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 3 completely blew past me. I remember season 2 being announced, the medieval stuff, but apparently season 3 was winter themed. Missed that. The new one is cyberpunk themed.
Cyberpunk themed?
Yeah, it's like a bunch of like gravity stuff. It was pretty cool. It was fun.
Maybe I'll have to play. I haven't played in so long.
Is it crossplay? Like, can we all play it together?
Not yet.
No, but I guess they got bought by Epic Games, so it'll probably happen soon.
Okay. I think they're gonna take it off of the Steam store.
Fuckers, but I paid for it on there.
I mean, you'll get to keep it. I'm pretty sure if it's on Steam already, but I think they're gonna. That's the rumor, at least. I have no source for that whatsoever.
I believe you because they did the same with Rocket League. They took it off the Steam store.
Exactly. Which is
Fortnite only Epic Store?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. Games for children.
That's why I have the launcher.
Not like Fall Guys.
I've been playing Fortnite recently.
Really?
I dove back into it, dude. I mean, I played a lot of it when it came out because it was like uncorrupted. You know, like it wasn't that big of a deal. Like when it first came out, and it was the first major battle royale on console. So it was like
fair enough.
So much fun.
Are you also like snorting lines of G Fuel while you're playing it?
It's just up my butt. I just have cans of G Fuel up my butt.
I'm butt chugging it.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's definitely gotten like far away from me, but it's still fun. It's like a very low stakes.
Yeah.
If I'm not trying to be super sweaty, I jump into Fortnite and get to the top 10 and then die immediately because people are building fortresses before I can even aim my gun.
Yeah.
That's such the weird thing that people always talk about. It's like in Fortnite, you shoot somebody instead of them running and hiding, they materialize a fort around themselves.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, also, I'm drinking Woodchuck's Amber apple cider. Felt like getting a cider today when I went to Publix. It's good stuff.
Solid.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
nice.
on. I think I was maybe on Threes Brewing last time we spoke to, but there was
I like that can.
It was nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's called Logical Conclusion. It's an IPA from Threes.
Nice.
Who I think are out of New York. Yeah. So
I'm having some nice fresh H2O because
what brewery is
rehydrate. Just how to rehydrate.
I spent all morning, like 2 hours this morning, hanging over a
pack.
toilet. So,
yeah. So, Will, what'd you think of the movie, dude?
Yeah, for sure. So this is obviously like a huge, major cultural touchstone it's one of those ones that's kind of like a shame point for never having seen it. Kind of along the lines of Scarface. I think I spoke about similar feelings.
Yeah.
It's a movie that kind of you expect everyone to have seen, and especially people who are quote unquote movie people to have seen, and I haven't. So coming in, I knew a little bit. I knew there was lots of music. I knew there was lots of cooking. I knew there was like a pretty significant voiceover portion of the film. But beyond that, I mean, I was pretty fresh to it. I didn't know anything about the story. Beyond one scene about it's a Tommy Joe Pesci related scene. With Michael Imperioli, who's from Sopranos, is what I know him from. Mm-hmm. He's a brief kind of cameo, I guess, as a kid.
Oh, Spider? Are you talking
Spider.
About? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The Spider scene.
You knew about that scene?
I knew about that scene, yeah, because
really?
Because of Michael Imperioli being in The Sopranos. But beyond that, didn't know a whole lot. I knew there were a lot of actors who are in The Sopranos in this film, which is really great to see. I was like very happy every time I saw somebody. The Sopranos is a huge, favorite of mine, so I had that context, which was great. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Obviously it's a pretty good film. I wasn't like blown away by it, but I also think it's kind of a similar thing to Scarface, where it's a bit of it's hard to come to it fresh now because so much of what we've seen is informed by it. That it doesn't necessarily feel fresh or unique, because I've seen stuff that obviously has been majorly influenced by it. I've seen straight up parodies of it. I've seen remakes of it in different mediums. So like I kind of had to detach myself from like a lot of the stylistic things being familiar to me, but I liked it a lot. I definitely have some pain points. I don't think Ray Liotta is a very good actor.
Damn.
His performance is kind of maybe like the weakest point of the whole film for me.
That's a tough spot because he is the main character.
I know. So that kind of took a bit of getting used to. I think he's like pretty outrageous in this film.
You don't like Ray Liotta. Damn.
And not necessarily in a good way. But there are things he does well, and I think there are some things that are leaned on that I don't think he does very well, or that took me out of it. But obviously the rest of the cast is pretty much flawless. Pesci is great. Pacino is great. Lorraine Bracco is great.
You said Pacino?
Did I say Pacino?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, De Niro. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think he has a cameo there.
Classic Michael Mann Heat scenario.
Yeah.
De Niro, sorry. It was good. I enjoyed it. It definitely is long. It's one of those ones that's kind of a bit of a sitter. But I think despite the length.
But there are longer movies. I think this only came to 2 hours,
like
20 minutes.
2:20, yeah.
Which in the grand scheme of like gangster movies, not that long.
It's really not. Yeah. If
Usually
we're talking Once Upon a Time in America,
it was like 4 hours long.
Yeah. It's definitely manageable. The Irishman,
like the director's cuts longer.
Yeah. It was a good watch for sure. I'm glad to have finally watched it. I think I'm probably at like a solid 8 out of 10.
Right on.
I think if I had seen this in my formative years, it would be like probably one of my favorite movies. But just now that I've seen so much stuff that is influenced by it, like I mentioned, I think it maybe doesn't hit quite as hard for me. But I mean, directorially, the Scorsese is just, he's a master. There's so many beautiful moments in this film. A lot of really weird kind of kitschy stuff too, which we can get into. But the tracking shots. I know, obviously, I'm sure like a lot of the discourse around the film is about the tracking shots, and there are some really beautiful one takes.
There's some
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, definitely a good watch. Chances that it creeps to an 8.5, but it's a solid 8 for sure.
Right on.
Okay.
Trevor.
So, I've only seen, after watching this, I finally realized I had seen like 2 scenes from it before. Like you mentioned, you'd seen a scene. I'd seen 2, both involving Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Classic.
one I can't talk about because it's pretty late in the film. The other one I can, which is the funny how scene.
You think I'm funny? Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that scene, Will?
No, I have.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I have.
No, it's
Not
right.
in context, but I've seen bits of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think I knew that scene was from this movie. The other one I wasn't sure the whole way through. I was like, is this the movie or is this a different gangster movie? I don't know.
It could be a different one. With
like
this
parts
cast.
of the way through, I kept like flipping back and forth between if it was or wasn't. But so I was actually still a little. Anyways, I really liked this movie. It was really good. Like Will says, a little bit. We are coming into this after this has influenced so much other
30
media.
years of content.
Well, I think part of that is why I really liked it. It's kind of nice to see the origin point of a lot of this formula, more or less. It's not quite a formula, but it
kind of is.
There's a formula there for sure.
Yeah.
Like the voiceover thing I think is huge.
Yeah.
Yes. And all that. It's just like, it's really cool to see the more or less the origin of all that stuff. I thought it was all. I didn't think Ray Liotta was bad.
Yeah, I like Ray Liotta,
I thought
but
a couple of bits, like especially early on with the funny how scene when he's laughing, is a bit much.
But he's also playing that laugh up because he knows it's irritating his friend.
True.
Okay, so you mentioned it, so I'll just quickly. It's the laugh for me. He does it the entire movie. Why does he laugh like that? What is? I don't understand.
Ray Liotta.
He's like screaming. It's just him like screaming "ha." It's not like an actual laugh. It's terrifying. De Niro does it at one point too, and it's just like I don't understand what's happening. Like I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Sorry, Trevor. Go ahead.
It's all right.
That's the thing for me though, is the laugh. I fucking hate that laugh. I don't ever want to hear it again. It took me out. I was just like, what is happening?
He's laughing.
I'm pretty sure he does the exact same laugh in B Movie when he's on the stand in B Movie.
Oh,
he probably does it in Operation Dumbo Drop, in which I love him, but
I totally forgot he was in that fucking movie.
Oh my god, I did too for a second. You brought that up, and I'm like, why is he talking about Dumbo? Oh, right.
The dog shit
He's
movie.
the guy, dude. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
The rest of the cast is also fantastic. Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, great.
Al Pacino's cameo.
Huh?
Pacino's
cameo. Yeah, that was.
It was really sick. We'll get into it.
Kind of out of left field, like but whatever, right? Chilling. Really good stuff. The story was actually super interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like parts of the story, without spoiling anything, like after it was over, I almost felt like, how do I word this? Parts of it were similar in ways to Uncut Gems, like with characters making bad decisions, kind of being the thing. But I feel like this is the way to do it correctly.
Interesting.
As I've stated before, I did not really enjoy Uncut Gems, and that I feel like is a way to not do characters making bad choices.
I gotta re-listen to that episode again. I want to hear you rail into it.
But overall, yeah, I think I give this 9.5 out of 10 easy. I really enjoyed this. I would watch this again in a heartbeat. I would like to watch it again on a big TV because I did watch it on my setup here. So it did look really nice. But I would like to sit down and just watch it and not take notes the whole time.
Yeah,
that's how I watched it. I didn't take any notes.
Oh, I took my classic
took notes.
Tons of notes.
Actually, I think I wrote 3 lines of notes because there was things I didn't want to forget that I know one of them I just thought was funny. But yeah, right on. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Trevor.
I really did. It was super fun. I'm hyped to talk about the story once we get into the spoilers.
Yeah, and we'll get there pretty quick because there's not. I don't have a ton to talk about before we even jump into the spoiler zone. So. I also love this movie. Like I said earlier, I think it's fantastic. I like all the performances. I think they all did a really good job. I think the story's great. I love the voiceover. And there's another movie that I might bring later. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen Casino?
No.
No,
I want to watch it though.
I might bring that one as well, which is also another long gangster movie with voiceover.
Yeah,
okay.
With De Niro and Pesci.
I've heard Casino is. I've heard not universally, but there are people who think Casino is better than GoodFellas.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Casino.
I don't think I've even heard of Casino.
So good. Don't look anything up.
I will.
But yeah, I'm like right around where Trevor scores. I think I'd give it like a 9.5, pretty close to a 10, because I don't really have anything wrong with it, honestly. So it's just like, I think it's a great movie. I think it's one of the best gangster movies of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I feel like I think I should say 8.5.
No,
because you guys are saying things that make me reconsider my score. I think I'm being too stiff on it. I think it's easily an 8.5, if not more. But
that's a classic Will move.
I do want to watch it again. Yeah, I know. I don't want it to be a
I think it's definitely.
move. I don't want to be a stiff boy. Yeah, I think
this is my third time watching. I'll say.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you first saw it as a kid?
I first saw it in high school when I was going through watching classic movies, like the top 250 movies on IMDb. Yeah. And the second time was, I think, last year when I showed it to Abby for the first time. That might have been the start of quarantine. It was something like that. But
did Abby like it?
She did, yeah, but she didn't really like the super violent scenes because she doesn't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
But yeah, so this is the third time, and I've loved it every single time.
Nice.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a rewatch for me too. Yeah, I not a retcon, but like it's an 8.5.
Right on.
Yeah.
To be fair, the review section wasn't over, so he was allowed to get that in, Trevor.
He's allowed.
Yeah. Thank you. Pull it before we hit the spoiler zone. Are we doing any lists, Cobb? Do you want to skip them, or do you want to just hit them quick?
I think we could do like a rapid fire, just like off the dome. Like, what do you guys is like? You want to start with Scorsese movies? Like, what are your favorite Scorsese movies?
I didn't prep any of this. Oh no.
Yeah, Trevor's been asleep all day, so we can go first. I think the
have to look
Wolf
up
of Wall Street, is probably a pretty easy take, but is also pretty good. I honestly haven't seen a ton of his stuff. I've seen Taxi Driver and...
What? You've seen Taxi Driver?
Yeah, I watched it when I was young, and I don't remember anything about it, which is what I was going to say.
Because I was going to say...
I want you to bring it because I watched it because I felt like I had to, but I was probably like 15, and I don't remember anything. Like it didn't stick with me. And I've seen that, and I've seen Raging Bull, both of which I think at the time were just like very long, and didn't really hit me. But Shutter Island, great film. I don't think it's fair to say it's his best film, but it's one that I like a lot. I also like Hugo, very odd movie but fun. And The Irishman is really amazing too.
That's one I haven't seen yet.
That's a long ass movie. And I think it both makes me appreciate Goodfellas more, and Goodfellas makes me appreciate The Irishman more, in that it's kind of like the opposite tale, morally speaking.
Yeah.
I won't get too far into it because y'all haven't seen it. Oh fuck! I'm sorry. The Departed is number 1 for me.
The Departed.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely Scorsese's a pretty big blind spot for me. I haven't seen Gangs of New York.
What?
I really don't consider myself
Trevor,
as
have you
having...
seen Gangs of New York?
I have not.
I'm going to bring that for sure.
I've got to say real quick, I am not going to be able to participate in this list.
Cameron Diaz. You just haven't seen any Scorsese movies?
No.
That's fucking crazy.
This is it. I was going to watch Irishman, and just never got around to it. Oh, I've seen... Okay, never mind. I've seen Wolf of Wall Street, but still.
Storch coming in here hasn't seen a goddamn movie.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, the Gangs of New York was literally on premium cable like every night when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And I definitely have seen 20 minutes of it probably, but I've never watched the entire thing front to back. And I am a huge Daniel Day-Lewis and DiCaprio fan, so that's a big...
What about Cameron Diaz?
I mean, I can take or leave Cameron Diaz.
She's in it, so.
I know. But yeah, I think Departed's a pretty easy yes for me. And then I think, Wolf of Wall Street is great. I also think it's too long. Scorsese needs to rein himself in a little bit. Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Isn't it like 2:45? I think
that's how you want it.
It felt too long.
That felt too long.
So you have seen a Martin Scorsese movie, Jerry?
I just said I'd seen
2:45. It's 3 hours, and yeah, he did just say he's seen Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, okay.
Why does he just think it's okay for him to make 3-hour movies when nobody else does?
All of them are, when you think about it, except for Hugo.
That's pretty pretentious, I think.
How long is Hugo? Oh, it's 2 hours. I think Mean Streets is shorter too. Mean Streets is one of his early
Haven't
ones.
seen Mean Streets either.
Oh, come on, guys. What's going on? Yeah, it's under 2 hours.
Maybe I'll watch Mean Streets because it's not a fucking whole evening of film.
Well, you're not allowed to watch any of these because I could bring any of them.
Okay, that's fine.
For me, favorites, I mean, it's got to be Goodfellas, Casino, and Gangs of New York, I think. But their other ones are so fucking great, too. Like, The Aviator's fantastic. Wolf of Wall Street's great. Hugo is really good, too. I liked Hugo. Cape Fear is really good.
You're a Scorsese stan, dude.
Yeah, apparently.
Cape Fear is really good. Raging Bull's great. Taxi Driver's classic. Mean Streets was pretty good.
This isn't a list. You're just reviewing all of.
I know. I do. Well, I can't do it. I said my top three. My top three was Goodfellas, Casino, and Gangs of New York.
So you just love Scorsese? Is he your favorite director? No, right?
I mean, after looking at this list, it's very close. It's between him and Tarantino.
Yeah. Fair.
I've seen more Tarantino films than I've seen Scorsese films.
Same.
So
very much the same.
Like I said, I can't really participate. I've seen Wolf of Wall Street, and now I've seen Goodfellas.
You got top two.
That's a good. Yeah. Which one goes where? What's going on?
I mean, I think I need to rewatch Wolf of Wall Street because at the time of watching, I didn't enjoy it very much.
You're like, there's too much cocaine and strippers.
No.
Lots of drugs.
There's Quaaludes.
The script felt like they cursed way too much.
It's one of the movies
that
with the most F words in it, isn't it?
But like, you get what I mean? Like, I'm not saying don't, but it just felt like every other. Like, it felt like the short film that me and Jacob and Kirk made in college, where every other word was fuck.
It felt like Tarantino and the N-word in Pulp Fiction.
Tarantino does do that a lot. Yeah, so let's jump into the spoiler zone.
Can we jump right to the end?
Sure.
Love that he was a rat. Very surprising.
Yeah, he was a fucking rat, dude.
Very surprising. Did not expect that at all.
And Pesci got shot in the fucking face.
So that's the scene.
Crazy.
That's the scene I had actually seen, I think, on TV.
That's crazy that you had seen that before.
In passing, I just walked through it thinking it was just like on, and they were talking about, he's gonna be a made man and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, what is this? And then Joe Pesci gets shot. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something, and walked away.
Yeah, I knew from the moment he mentioned getting made that it was gonna be him getting whacked, because there's no fucking way that dude's getting made before Henry.
Yeah,
he was an enormous piece of shit.
Well, the other two guys
they explained that Jimmy and Henry cannot be made.
Yeah,
they're Irish.
They're not pureblood Sicilian. They can't be tracked to the old country.
Yeah.
Fuck Tommy. I honestly hated Joe Pesci's character.
He's terrible. He's unhinged.
Bastard.
That's a classic Pesci character, though. Pesci always does those kind of characters.
Except in My Cousin Vinny, where he's fucking amazing.
My Cousin Vinny is, I think, my favorite Joe Pesci movie. Yeah. Is My Cousin Vinny.
He's good in Home Alone. He's unhinged in Home Alone, though.
Not like that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a murderer.
He does try to. He tries
to kill a child. Yeah,
multiple times.
You can make the argument that he's unhinged in Home Alone.
It might be the same character. No one's ever talked about that.
Yeah, it says the Scorsese cinematic universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the fact that he turns rat at the end is really awesome. I'm surprised that never has been spoiled for me. I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought he would just get killed and that would be the end of the movie. But the fact that he flipped is like pretty unbelievable.
I still expected him to get killed, like even after he flipped.
In the courtroom, he's looking them in the eye, saying
he fingers them. Yeah, it's crazy.
He fingers them.
He did. That's what he did. He points at them.
That was good, dude.
So, that's a phrase. He fingered them in court.
Right on. Yeah. Freddie got fingered. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom Green. Yeah,
I do kind of like.
You guys think Ray Liotta's a good actor? He was not a good actor in this film.
I don't think he's the best actor in the movie, but I think he's still a good actor.
He wasn't bad enough to ruin anything, in my opinion.
I liked young Henry more than I liked Ray Liotta.
Dude, that kid looks so similar to him. It was the fucking eyes. Yeah. They had the same exact.
It's crazy.
Same exact.
I loved how fucking awkward and lanky he was. Yeah. Whenever he's just like running everywhere.
That's Trevor.
I was gonna say that feels a little like me.
He's the kid who got made fun of in high school for running to all his classes. You know, that was the energy I got off of young Henry.
I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
Young Henry was not a rat, though. Young Henry...
Not a rat at all.
No. He got arrested, but he didn't say a goddamn word.
Well, because he drugs? Is it the drugs, you think?
I think it was the drugs, and he knew at this point, because of the drugs, he was selling them behind Paulie's back, that they were going to kill him. I mean, that's just what it is. Yeah, you're going to get killed. Your family's going to get killed.
Yeah, at this point, he was like early on, he was part of everything. He was like cared about and felt like he belonged, and by the end he had, through his own fault, been alienated by the whole family, and already attempts on his family's life had been made based on what happened with Jimmy and his wife. I can't remember what her name is. Joni, like with the weird moment towards the end there.
Yeah. Down the street around the corner.
Keep going.
That's
like terrifying.
Also, he could have played that off so much better, but he kept
Also,
looking.
her name was Karen, it looks like. Karen Hill.
Oh, Joni's the first Gooma, I think, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Joni's the one who moves into the apartment across the street, and then Sandy is the one who cuts all the drugs for him.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which who is she? She's somebody.
She was one of the girlfriends.
No, she's like a famous actress.
The actress, yeah. She's super recognizable to me, too, and I don't know from where.
Oh, is it NCIS or something?
Never seen that show in my life. So
I haven't either.
You're
but
a big NCIS head, right?
She's
CBS like one of those
primetime television.
Whatever. Anyways, I should have looked this up. Again, like I said, I woke up like a half hour ago.
I can look her up.
So, but
go grab another cider. You guys keep waxing.
All right, yeah, but it's amazing that, like you said, I hadn't been spoiled, because apparently I had been spoiled for like the big Joe Pesci moment.
Yeah.
And the other earlier scene that I was talking about that I forget already, the haha funny thing. Yeah, which was a great scene, a very good scene for establishing.
So terrifying,
like the relationship more or less amongst all these guys. Yeah. It's like we're all family and like we're all working together and stuff, but
there's still that weird toxic masculinity right under the surface. Do you think he was serious at first, and then he realized how absurd he was being, and he pulled back, or do you think he was joking the whole time?
I really don't know, and I think part of the movie is that I don't think even he knows.
Yeah.
I think
he's fucking crazy.
Okay, yeah, Jacob, real quick. Do you think in the haha funny scene, do you think Joe Pesci was serious the whole time, or do you think
I think he was serious in the beginning, and then he played it off, because I think he's a fucking crazy person.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a madman.
I think, personally, I think he doesn't even know if he was serious or not. I think he just had a thing and went with it, and then just abandoned it immediately too, because he's so crazy and unhinged.
I only think that because of his temper, so he might have been mad at first when he said that and was laughing, and somehow took that as like him laughing at him instead of with him, like as a slight.
He really has like a little man syndrome or something.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like even Paulie calls him. He's a cowboy. He's always got something to prove.
Yeah,
you know. It's just this fucking kid.
I hated him so much. That scene with Billy in the bar with the whole shine box thing.
Oh, that was so good though.
God,
dude,
damn it.
You
know he's gonna come back and murder him. Like there's no.
Yeah.
He's not just leaving.
To be fair though, he should. Why did he even do that? Why would he start something with him? Like, why keep bringing it up? You can see
because he was a made man. He can do whatever he wants.
That is true. So he clearly thought that he was untouchable, which you're supposed to be. But
just going back quickly to Sandy, who is the third, for lack of a better word, girlfriend. Thank you, Trev. I know her from Entourage. She plays an assistant named Shauna in Entourage.
Haven't seen it.
She's in Castle, and that's only one episode.
Haven't seen that either.
Her name is Debbie Mazar. Trev, if you want to look her up.
Okay, she just looks so familiar.
I don't know what else. NYPD, no, one episode. It's lots of one episodes in like all the types of games that you've mentioned. She's in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas as a voice.
I didn't play San Andreas. That was before.
What?
That was before I really had that kind of like consoles,
either.
dude.
San Andreas is probably my favorite game of all time.
I wasn't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto when I was a kid.
Wow, yeah, my first full Grand Theft Auto was Grand Theft Auto 5. which has been still the most recent, sadly.
That's true.
So y'all haven't played 3 Vice City?
I have played
San
3
Andreas?
because my cousin had it, and they would bring it down, and we'd play it on PS2 fucking so much.
But you haven't played Vice City, San Andreas, or 4?
I played a little bit of Vice City, never played San Andreas, played a little bit of 4 just like at my friend's house, like fucking around.
Wow, that's
4
crazy.
I remember 4, the color palette is very weird.
Very gray.
Yeah.
Very muted. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, Joe Pesci is a madman. Felt very uneasy about him from the jump, even as a kid. Young Tommy with his little suit on when they're selling cigarettes out front of the factory.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
I do want to talk a little bit.
Jimmy was great.
I want to talk a little.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Like, I kind of do like how this movie more or less starts with him being in court, kind of. Like, yeah, there's like the build up to it, but his first pinch is right there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Where he's in court, and then he comes out with everyone there, and they're all celebrating and happy.
Yeah.
And then we kind of finish off the movie with them all back in court.
Yeah.
And
fair point.
It's not happy at all. This is a very unhappy occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that.
He's got a good arc. I think I loved the early days stuff. I loved him as like young Henry and meeting all those guys.
Yeah,
lots
that stuff was good.
Lots of Sopranos actors in that early bit. They're throughout the entire thing. People who are in the Sopranos, but yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of leads me into talking about his wife, Lorraine.
I thought
Bracco.
she was great. I thought she did a fantastic job.
She is so good.
Fantastic.
She's so good.
She's way more likable than he is.
Way more, dude. Way more. Like you like her from the first instant because like he's being a dick to her on their first date, and then she's like upset that she gets stood up on the second date, and then she goes off on him in front of everyone, and then he's like, oh,
he
this
loved
person,
that.
like, yeah, he loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, she actually like had the balls to come get
she has
him.
fire.
Yell at him. Yeah, she's wonderful. She's also
she's a little unhinged.
Probably that. Well, yeah, that
only
too.
at the end because of the drugs. Honestly.
Yeah, but also like
I don't know. She's a little bit earlier on. I thought like,
he
at
was
one
cheating
point,
on her crazy.
Well, yeah,
Totally
obviously, I don't blame her for being unhinged.
Totally
I'm just saying
justified.
she was.
That scene where he wakes up and is with a pistol in his face is
that was so
fucking
good.
crazy.
Part of me really thought she was gonna do it. It was gonna like do a crazy like narrator switch part the way through.
Did. Also, I love the
That would
fact
be
that
cool.
she does voiceover too. Like it's just Henry and her. Karen, what the hell's her name? Kyle? Karen.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Like usually it's just one person for voiceover. I thought it was pretty cool that they had both.
Yeah. I liked that too.
And she is maybe the second best character in The Sopranos as Tony's therapist. She's like unbelievable.
Oh, is she fucking really? Yeah,
she's Tony's therapist. Yeah. She.
I've only for the audience. I've only seen like the first maybe 4 episodes, and that was probably like 3 years ago.
Yeah, Sopranos is.
I want to watch.
Probably my favorite show of all time. Top 3.
Do we want to? We'll talk about that later. But I have not seen The Sopranos at all.
So. Yeah, I would love to bring it. It's a bit of a commitment though, because if I bring the first season,
you have to watch the whole thing.
It's 10 hours, and you're gonna want to watch the entire thing, which is 7 seasons. And it's
okay. So let's do the math.
That's 70 hours. It's at least 70 hours, if not
of
more.
pure content.
We'll talk about this after because I do have an idea for this. Actually,
I would love to do it because I'm actually rewatching it right now. I just finished the first season, and I would love to watch it again. Anyway, Lorraine Bracco plays Tony's therapist, and she's unbelievable in that show. And it was awesome to see her like younger and kind of as like the wife as opposed to like the different type of character she plays in The Sopranos. But she was so good, and I it's like, you know, a tragic arc as it usually is in mafia stuff where the wife is always kind of tossed aside for the girlfriend or the guma as they call them in The Sopranos. But she stays by him the whole time, which is pretty cool. She does,
yeah. She still loves him, which is sad.
It's insane. It's fucking insane.
Like, Jesus Christ.
And like so she apologizes to him, like
it's a nightmare. Yeah,
it's so bad.
I did hate that.
Yeah. We obviously had the benefit of 30 years of evolution past this part, but it is weird how it's always portrayed as like cheating and adultery are just like the norm in films like this. It's very off-putting.
I guess also we have to remember we're talking about gangsters.
We are.
So it might not be the norm necessarily for common society.
Gangsters who are trying to run their business exactly like they did in the old country, which who knows how long ago that was.
Right, and also they don't even know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. They
don't. Yeah, exactly. None of
that is a funny plot line in The Sopranos where they
I've heard about that plot line.
Yeah,
to be
they
fair,
go back to
from
Italy because they've never been. Yeah, it's great. Can we talk about maybe like the directing and the cinematography?
Yeah, dude, pop off.
So speaking on that,
them. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, just real quick. You guys watched, I assume, the remaster kind of, because that's what was on Amazon, like a 4K
on Prime,
remaster that they got from the original negatives and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't look into it. I just clicked the remaster.
I mean, I looked into it a little bit because I guess it was like they wanted to upscale it.
Yeah.
And they got the original negatives. Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Great.
And so I just wanted to mention that real quick. Just as
that's a fair shout. Yeah, it's a beautiful film. I think there are a lot of interesting techniques. There's lots of freeze frames, which is kind of weird. And we've obviously spoken about the narration, but I think the biggest takeaway is the tracking shots. There are some really beautiful one shots.
Yeah.
Primarily
the famous kitchen one.
The kitchen one, yeah. Is that the one where he
goes down in the basement? Yeah.
Yeah, the first actual
It follows them from like the car all the way across the street down into the basement through the restaurant out to the front of house. It's like
it's the most famous one by far.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's like unbelievable how good that shot is.
There's so many people in it too. So many people involved. So many moving parts. That's like something that Paul Thomas Anderson would do.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like it's hard to fathom how technically accomplished that shot is.
Yeah. And you can tell they wanted it to be even more impressive, too, because they take, like, the long way through the kitchen. It's, like, unnecessary. They, like, do an entire loop through the kitchen and then go out. He's, like, saying hi to everybody. He's like, hey, you know.
Yeah, Scorsese's in his bag in that.
Yeah, like, he's like, loving it.
I'm the goat. He's just, like, this is... Put money in as many people's pockets along the way as you possibly can.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. It really... That too.
It really like helps to like we've seen throughout like this guy's absolutely connected and he knows everybody, but this really is just like
no man, he works in construction. He's in the union business.
Oh yeah, he's great. Like he's flexing on the audience as well as the girl. Like we have a really good reason for him to be like glad handing as much as he does because he's kind of showing off for her too. So it's like it's so
I mean, they brought over a special table to put in the very front of where the performer was.
Carry the table all the way to the front of the stage.
And even there, when they sat down, the one of his friends brings him over a fancy bottle of wine, and they was just like, oh yeah.
Thanks, and they're all like, hey. It's just like it's so great.
Imagine being like that though. Wouldn't that be awesome to be like
a lot.
Just that I don't know. I would love to be able to do that at least one time in my life. Just like walk through and just like hey, like be a rock star basically. You're just a rock star.
That's fair.
Why haven't they made a gangster theme park, where you can just like go like Star Wars, you can go like stay in a Star Wars hotel. Why can't you go like to the Copacabana and just have a table brought out to you?
Well, no, you know what would be cool is a Westworld version of this in real life.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, actually, that would be pretty sick.
That'd be tight as fuck, dude. You don't die. I thought in Westworld you don't. I've only seen the first season. Didn't like it.
In the
first season slaps. Never saw after that though.
Didn't like the first season.
I take it as you want like a working theme park version of this, not the horrible dystopia that Westworld turns into, but like a gangster Westworld working thing where it's no risk, but you're like no
risk, only reward.
Only reward, yes.
Just quickly before we venture off that particular Copacabana scene, it paints a nice parallel to when we're introduced to Jimmy. When it's young Henry and you just see Jimmy giving money to everyone as he comes into the club. Mm-hmm. That's like a very nice kind of before after type deal.
Yeah,
like that was his goal. We see his goal,
like,
and then we see him accomplish that goal, basically, which is really nice.
And then he's like, Jimmy's right hand, essentially.
Well, and even at that point, when he's a kid, they say Jimmy's 21, even though De Niro was clearly not 21. But like 35. Yeah, they just dyed his hair black. But but it really shows how accomplished he was, and Henry really wanted to model that as soon as possible. And I think in the Copacabana scene, I think Henry Hill's also 21 at that point. I believe.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
So yeah, it really does show like a complete just copying of the behavior and everything.
Yeah, but I mean that's the norm for them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Should we talk about Jimmy a bit? I feel like we haven't really touched about.
Oh, I do want to stay on the director stuff a little bit because that very first scene when they're in the car in 1990 and there's the body in the trunk. And the famous fucking line, dude, in the beginning where all my life I always wanted to be a gangster, and then it's fucking the camera shoots towards his face. I mean, that's perfection in directing. I don't think there's anything better than that.
Yeah,
that was good.
It's
I will say, why shoot the guy in the trunk?
Because both of them are monsters.
I guess, but like
people.
that's gonna go through him. And
I thought
leave
of
holes
that
in the bottom of the trunk.
I also thought about that when it happened. I was like, you did already stab him.
Like he stabbed him a bunch, and like he could have, even if those stabs, like stab him, do just a nice accurate stab, just get him in the heart, and it's done.
Just give him a gentle stab.
Why you gotta just go and then shoot him 3 times? What the?
But yeah, that shot I just love. I love the
it's
zoom.
Great.
It's
so good though. It's fantastic.
It's great.
What a way to start a movie. Like I feel like that's like instantly engaging. It's like, what the fuck?
I will say though, the titles are awful.
You don't like the zooming?
The fucking zoom,
I didn't really
zoom, stop.
It kind of bothered
zoom,
my eyes
zoom,
a little
stop.
bit. I didn't really like it.
I don't even remember it happening.
It was just like the words like went across like a car, and then they would stop in the middle afterwards.
Yeah, they go by like twice, and then they.
Yeah.
Huh.
Also, the font is not good. But
it didn't stand out to me at all, so I don't even remember it.
No, of course he didn't, but he should. You can have a good movie and a good title card.
Listen, at that point, he was fucking tired. He had just done like 45 different amazing legendary shots.
That's also, this is not super related, but I didn't know this was as recent as it was. In my mind, Goodfellas was from like the early 80s.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's like 1990, which is,
1990.
not... I mean, it's 30 years ago now, but it doesn't seem like it's that long ago versus like Raging Bull or Taxi Driver, which are like mid-70s movies. Shit, I had a point to go to next, and I've lost it.
I'm trying to remember, too, what you said.
I don't know.
Okay, anyways.
Just come back to it?
It's gone, yeah.
It's all right. Yeah, that
Whatever
happens.
Y'all got.
I just wanted to say that Joe Pesci's mom, though, is great in this.
Oh,
that's
so
Martin
good.
Scorsese's mom, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know. It is.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
She's so good, dude. I love her in this.
So does she ever find out that he is in the gang? Is a gangster?
She knows.
Is
she knows for sure. She's congratulating him for being made.
I know, but like earlier on, like whenever they had the body in the back.
Yeah,
I felt like
I think that's her just like not wanting to really talk about it, you know?
I guess it just felt like he was like hiding it almost on like what he actually did from her.
Yeah.
Well, he probably doesn't, even if she knows that he's doing this, so he probably still doesn't want to just be like, I fucking murdered a guy in cold blood and he's in the trunk.
Well, no, but like
he's still wiggling around back there.
No, but they seem to talk around what his job is. Job, air quotes.
Big job.
Like they even talk about how they don't like they're better than like blue collar guys with actual jobs and stuff. So I don't think they even consider it a job. It's a lifestyle.
They are blue collar. They work.
Well, fair enough.
That's
He's
what
a
they
union delegate.
Yeah,
they are union delegates. True. True.
But I love the mom. I love the scene. Every scene with her was fantastic, and that painting that she has when they talk about it, dude. My friend
dogs?
Ked in high school had that painting in his room.
What?
He had a print of it in his room. It was
That's
fucking
incredible.
Great.
That's so good.
It's such a great picture with the little pups looking each way. He's like, look, one dog looking this way, one dog looking the other. What can you not like? It's so fucking good.
Also, Vinny, I don't know the character's name, but his dad is also in the movie. He's the old man who's who puts too many onions in the sauce.
Oh yeah,
in prison.
the guy that kills Pesci at the end. Well, one of the guys that's there.
Yeah, that's Scorsese's dad. I'm pretty sure.
Oh okay.
Oh cool. Okay.
I mean, his last name is Scorsese. I'm assuming it's his dad. I don't think it's his.
Gotta be.
Grandpa, you know,
His cousin.
Could be his brother. Really old brother.
Yeah, could be his old brother.
Really old brother. He's 40 years older than him.
Great brother.
My great brother.
That's all. That's the scene that I have the most awareness of without having seen before. Is the whole prison shtick. There's an episode of Community where they pretty much parody that part of the film where they like control the kitchen. Shut the fuck up, Jacob. All right. And it's wonderful, and that's the majority of my knowledge of Goodfellas comes from this episode where they like take over the kitchen because they get chicken fingers and it's like short supply of chicken fingers, and then they like weasel their way into being the people who control the kitchen. Then they get all the chicken fingers. It's like, it's Goodfellas.
Do they do the slicing the garlic thing?
There's voiceover. There's cooking. Yeah, they do all that. It's a great episode. But that's I like that. I didn't know where it would pop up, and then he gets pinched, of course, and goes to prison for 4 years, and that's kind of where it was, and that's where his drug habit kind of takes off.
The drug habit stuff makes me so sad.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I hate having to watch people get addicted to drugs and like go through massive personality and behavioral changes. It's just so sad and depressing.
I do too.
I fucking hate it. That's like a big knock on Scarface. The fact that
it's a big trope,
like
right? With
a massive cokehead, and then like I was like, because that's an hour and a half into this film. Like, we're good, we're clean, we're just drinking and doing the normal gangster shit for an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden, as the 80s come around, cocaine starts to be a big money maker, and of course he. To quote Biggie, gets high off his own supply, and it's just like, it's so depressing. Yeah, I just fucking hate it.
More to quote Scarface than
you're right. Biggie. Yeah, sorry. To me, it's Biggie. Obviously, to the majority of people, it's Scarface. I hate it.
I agree. Yeah, it sucks. Like, so many of these guys, like, I feel like they would have learned over the years. Maybe like you don't do that.
Don't do it.
Well, they did, and Paulie told him. He's like, the reason that other guy was in prison for so long and is fucking probably going to die in there, which I guess he did end up getting out, but was because somebody was selling drugs behind his back and he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he told him right away, and he still was like, fuck you. That scene's also great, where he's like, don't trust Jimmy, don't trust Tommy, and then
he slaps him.
Smash cut. Yeah, slaps him, and then smash cut to sitting right between Jimmy and Tommy with a fucking bag full of cocaine money in his lap,
bringing them in to help
office.
with it straight up.
At the parole office. Yeah.
Oh, that was wild.
That's a good.
It does suck though, because he could have been like Paulie. I think actually did care at a certain point at least.
He did for sure.
Yeah, and like
if he had kid grow up,
if he had been fine and like not started doing that, he probably would have turned out okay.
Yeah.
Like.
He would have
been ratted on, but you never know. Somebody else might have gotten caught up in the cocaine thing instead of him, and then blah blah blah. But still,
yeah, that's the thing. I feel like or at least most gangster movies, whenever they get to this point in time in the U.S., like it's just always
end of the era.
It's always drugs. It's always drugs. Yeah. It's the end of the era. It starts becoming just drug dealing, and like the golden years in quote are over, basically.
Yeah. I recall the point that I was trying to make earlier.
Nice.
The music of this film is just me in my most joyful state.
Hell yeah.
I adore like 50s, 60s doo-wop. I have sampled a few songs that are in this film unknowingly. Obviously, I've never seen this before, but some songs in this movie I have sampled into beats that I've made.
Nice.
So like, especially I think in the first half of the film, there are moments where there isn't music playing are few and far between. Like there is just always kind of a song playing. And and just an absolute slapper soundtrack. I love that like 50s mafia music type deal, like the doo-wop stuff. It's just so good. And
then they get into like more like rock and roll stuff when he's getting fucking on drugs and shit.
Yeah, just ripped off his ass on cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, great soundtrack.
Yeah, very good.
Great movie.
Trev, you got any points? I feel like I haven't heard a ton from you.
There was. I mean, I could bring up my one gripe about gun stuff in this if you want me to.
Let's hear it. Dude, I would love to hear it.
IMFDB section. IMFDB section.
Not even.
We need to drop that.
Yeah, we need like a horn.
Even technically from IMFDB, but I can use it to help increase some accuracy. Later in the movie, when Ray Liotta is bringing... I
knew it was the silencers. You mentioned this before we started recording, and I was like, he's definitely going to talk about the silencers.
The silencers, it's so dumb because he's trying... Like, what is he trying to do? He's trying to screw them inside of the barrel. Like, what is that? What are you doing?
Well, he even says that he knew he wasn't going to take the guns and was going to pretend like the silencers didn't work.
I guess, but like, those silencers are very obvious props because if I try to do some research, actually, if not all, real suppressors go over the barrel. And if you're looking at this, he's like trying to shove these things inside the barrel of these guns.
Is that not how that works?
I thought
no, it's around the.
I thought that's how it works too, and I'm pretty sure it does because I've seen a lot of James Bond movies too, and they always screw it in.
Oh, it's around the outside.
We just watched Spectre last night. Never seen it. Ray's never seen it. Terrible.
Really?
You hated it?
Just a fucking bad movie.
Damn.
Sad.
And like we were just flabbergasted because we both love Skyfall. Like,
oh yeah, it's not nearly as good. It's definitely way more forgettable.
The best Bond movie probably is Skyfall, and then they followed it up with Spectre, which is just a muddy.
I would say
bullshit.
Casino Royale is very close to also being one of the best.
I think Skyfall's leagues better than Casino Royale.
You think it's also better than the original Connerys?
Yes.
You don't love
and
the original Sean
Honor
Connery?
Majesty's Secret Service?
I think it's better than any other Bond movie.
I mean, I respect it. Skyfall's a fucking great movie. I respect.
How did we end up here?
Whoa! Don't get me wrong, brother. Wait.
Hold on.
I just think Spectre's a piece of shit, and it makes me bummed.
It's forgettable.
That
we got a review in the middle of our podcast.
No Time to Die slaps because it's got way better pedigree. You know,
it will. They always skip one. Dude, they always skip one.
Fukunaga, True Detective Season 1 director, is making the film, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Fleabag writer and creator and star, is writing the film.
Will,
and Rami Malek is
it's gonna be fine, dude. They always skip one. One is bad in the middle of a great one. All right, Casino Royale, great. Quantum of Solace, forgettable.
Trash.
Skyfall, great,
amazing.
And then Trash was a little bit forgettable. So it's
bad.
It'll be fine.
Awful.
Trevor, you've seen every single James Bond movie, right?
I've seen most all of them. I haven't seen Spectre.
I was raised on James Bond movies.
I was as well. I have not seen Spectre yet, so
don't see it.
I saw it in the theater.
I'm going to.
You should see it, but also
you gotta see it to complete.
You're gonna be bummed out.
So back to Goodfellas.
Huh?
Yeah. That's my one big gun gripe. Other than that, like the rest of it's more or less fine. Like the suppressor scene where he's actually like executing people, whatever.
Yeah, that shit did seem kind of weird with the whole silencer bit. Because I mean, when were silencers created?
When
were they popular?
I mean, they've been around.
When
like,
were
I'm not going to say that
they
weren't around for this.
Am I right? That makes.
So they were a thing back then.
Dude, they're in Call of Duty fucking World War II, brother. You can get a silencer on your gun.
Is that real though?
Yeah, it's real.
Okay, so they're
a pretty early development thing. They're probably not that good.
Yeah, when Tommy comes in and pops stacks, I was like, oh shit, he's got a hush hush on his little pistol there.
A hushy, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have been that quiet, but also like this is a gangster area, probably like a town, like a not great part of town. That whole fun stuff. I'm sure people didn't give a shit, and even if they did hear it, and they probably wouldn't that much. It's probably sound more. I mean, suppressed, like I said. So
that's fair.
What about that scene where Henry beats the shit out of Karen's next door neighbor? That guy.
Dude, I loved that. I
took the butt of the gun and just beat the ever loving
just
shit.
Smashed the fuck out of that dude's face. He's like, What does he say to him as he's walking up? He's like, "What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah, he like tries to be tough. Just whap right.
But also, he's got to know who he is, and like, why are you fucking around with Karen? Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's not the same neighborhood.
Not the same neighborhood. Also, like
this is the suburbs versus city.
Fair, I guess.
Also, would you like walking down the street? No, like you saw, like living not a life anything related to like the criminal underworld.
Yeah, those guys.
See a guy and be like, "Oh, that guy. I know that guy." It's like, no. If the general public, the general public knew who he was, then he probably would have been pinched a lot more. I guess if that makes sense.
No, that guy was just a dirtbag date raper. I mean,
like a piece of shit.
Who definitely deserved to get beat down, which was hilarious.
His friends didn't do a goddamn thing. It should have been 3-on-1.
The other two, he was just like, "They'll shoot." And then,
I'm so sorry.
Why does he give her the gun though? Is the thing I want to know.
Yeah,
but like
because in case that guy who he just beat the shit out of, like tries to rat on him. There's no weapon that he beat him with. They can't find it. It's not anywhere.
Yeah, but like there's just be like, hey, this is his girlfriend who lives across the street from me. Like, maybe check her shit too.
The other friends probably saw him hand the gun to her. Like, here, hide this. Like that.
No,
take it with you when you leave.
You think someone saw him handing a gun across the fucking street?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
You've got those eagle eyes.
I do love that. Although I find it hilarious that when he hands her the gun and she does her voiceover, she's like, "Turned me on."
Yeah, she thought it was hot.
All right, let's go.
For violence.
Sure, why not?
Super horny.
I mean, it makes sense. She thought she loved him because he was like hardcore, basically. You know?
Yeah.
Did y'all think in that scene we mentioned before when she wakes him up with the gun in his face? Did y'all know it was going to end the way it did?
Yeah, I didn't.
I really had no idea. I legitimately thought that she might shoot him, and we might just go to a different. Like wrap up the story with like different people or something. I didn't know about the ending with the rat out and stuff.
The whole like he's like talking nice to her. As soon as he started talking the way he did, I knew he would like as soon as she got the gun down, he would take it and then like beat the shit out of her. I just like that's a trope. I feel like at this point, you know, that this is probably the first time it happened, but pretty sure it happens in The Sopranos and other gangster media that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I think I've hit the majority. Oh, we didn't shout out Tampa, bro. There's a couple.
Oh,
Tampa
right.
references.
That was one of my notes. Was the Tampa City Zoo? Doesn't exist.
They go to Tampa. Yeah, defeated motherfucker to the lion. That shit was.
They couldn't get the
funny.
rights to Lowry Park Zoo.
That was so funny. I was gonna ask if that was like a OG zoo or something like that.
No, now they've changed it to, I think it's called
Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park.
Yeah, which is sad, big sad, but Tampa
City
Zoo,
it was basically the same. We were there just before COVID hit.
It's the very last thing I've done with a crowd of people was that.
Hell yeah.
It was
also,
fun. It was a good time.
My other notes were young Sam L. Jackson, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Because he got killed because he fucked up.
I literally just looked at that same note too.
Yeah, he left his truck out front. He wasn't there on time to get rid of it, so he got caught. And then my last note is just dinner at 10:45 p.m. Who does that? That was during the coked up era when he finally got back to the house and ate. It said on screen 10:45 p.m. What the fuck?
Fuck. I do have a final note, but this brings me. I've been trying to bring this up the whole time. That scene that day where we do like kind of hour by hour with him and the helicopter is just absolutely impeccable. It's so good. Scene. His paranoia is so. This is, I think, like the peak of his acting in the film, where he's like coked out of his mind, sweating his fucking dick off, and just like always looking up the windshield at it, trying to find a helicopter.
Almost gets in a car accident.
God, that's such a good portion of the film.
Also, his brother, that actor has been in a bunch of stuff too. I know him from. What the fuck was that show? It was some family show on fucking ABC Family. Grounded for Life. He was the uncle on Grounded for Life.
He looks super familiar to me too.
He's been in a bunch of stuff.
He did look familiar, yeah, but that whole thing, and then the babysitter. Like, come on!
Shout out to Lori. She needs her hat, dude.
Not even that. He literally just told her, "Don't call from the house,"
she didn't give
and she
a fuck.
immediately.
She doesn't know.
She didn't care. Yeah,
hey,
she doesn't care.
How would
She's
you
out
not
here
care?
stealing babies to smuggle drugs. Like, what's going on?
She didn't steal the baby. She borrowed the baby.
She might as well
stealing
steal
everything.
She's stealing babies, dude. She's stealing babies.
She's a baby stealer.
She needs her lucky hat.
But yeah, this movie's fucking fantastic, dude.
Yeah,
it is.
I can't wait to show you guys more Scorsese. I'm just gonna go on a Scorsese run now. I'm gonna do Casino and Gangs.
Do it.
Let's fucking do it.
I like gangster shit. It's fun.
Yeah. Should we do? Are we doing Casino next? Or are we doing Gangs New York next? What's the deal?
I think probably Casino next. More similar vibe to this. We'll do it back to back. See what you guys like more.
Good tease. I'm between a gangster film of a very different, cut from a different cloth, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
Or a different Denis Villeneuve film, going off of my Arrival episode. I'm undetermined.
Right on.
You'll know soon.
I have no idea what I'm doing next.
Any stray thoughts, y'all?
No, I'm just glad I showed it to you guys. I'm glad I was the one
too.
to bring it.
I'm glad I finally got to see it. It was so
really
good.
Great movie. Probably everyone who's listening to this has already seen it, but if you haven't, definitely check it out.
I think definitely still watchable. Even if you've already listened to the whole thing, I think it's definitely still worth.
Oh, absolutely still worth watching. But what are you doing if you haven't and you're still here?
Yeah, you shouldn't be here at this point. This is for people who have seen the content. Yeah, fucking turn this off before it hits the end.
And then come back and listen to the last 10 seconds.
Yeah. Exactly. Gotta hear the goodbyes. All right, y'all.
All right.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at @harbor_boys. And we'll catch you guys for the next Show Me Something. Peace out.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.